What up, Paul? Let's ram into Paul.
No, don't.
Oh no. Oh, I'm flying inside the ship. Okay. It's pretty good for the repair stuff. I appear to be stuck. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait a day or two before I do this again. Alright, so hey guys, so welcome to another Warframe video, and update 27 Empyrean Take Flight is here, so let us check it out, shall we? Now this update is unsurprisingly mostly about Empyrean and your Railjack and finally flying it through space, but they did adjust the ribbon disposition on primaries and secondaries and did some other minor tweaks as well. So in order to get started with this update, you will of course have to finish all the dry dock stuff inside your clan's dojo. Though ideally you and your clan already finished all the dry dock stuff because it has been available for a couple of weeks now. Once all the dry dock stuff is finished and you did all the retrieval missions with Cephalon Side to rebuild your Sigma series Railjack, you will be given one final mission where you go to Lua, you retrieve one final thing, you bring it back to your Railjack, and ta-da! You can fly. Before you take flight though, you might want to check out all the research and the different parts that you can build and research for your ship, because there is an awful lot of stuff. The resources you're gonna need for this are, for the most part, completely disconnected from the main game. It's just stuff you're gonna get as you do Railjack missions. So if you're looking at this like, why the balls are null stones, don't worry, it's just something you're gonna get as you do Railjack missions. You might also want to check out the other console that's right next to the research one and familiarize yourself with that as well, because that is essentially the arsenal screen for your Railjack. So it's where you swap around different weapons, you can even change the different Railjack parts once you research those, and it also has the new mod screen for the Railjack. Now the way this works is that you have mods which you get during Empyrean missions and you have mod slots, and both of these can be upgraded with the new sort of Empyrean Endo resource that you once again get in Empyrean missions. So if you want to upgrade the actual mods, you will go into avionics and you can upgrade the mods here, and if you want to upgrade the slots, you will go into grid. After that comes the payload screen, or like the resupply screen, and this is where you put in resources to then use on the Railjack. The most important one probably being Revelite, because that's used by the engineering gun that like repairs hull breaches and extinguishes fires. So make sure you top this one off, otherwise you can't repair the ship. And then there's other stuff that's like flux energy, munitions, as well as the final one, which is dome charge, and these are used by different guns mostly. And finally there's the Intrinsic Screen, Intrinsics being something that you get as you do missions, and this is your own personal progression on the Railjack, so it specializes you into either tactical, piloting, gunnery, or engineering. There's also Command, which will allow you to have your own crew, so you can actually do these missions solo, but that's not available yet. And that means that you basically need a squad for this, okay? You will be able to do some of the missions solo, but most of them are just too hard. Now, in order for you to start a Railjack mission, you will first have to go to your Railjack, either from your dojo's dry dock or even from your orbiter, because that's a thing now, which is great. And once you're there, you will go to the navigation console, which will open up a brand new type of star chart, which is just for Railjack missions. Though it is not the full star chart yet, we only have the Earth Proxima, Saturn Proxima, Vel Proxima, and then we have the dry dock. Now, as far as the missions are concerned, I honestly can't tell you an awful lot because it's still a little bit busted even after the hotfix that fixed a bunch of crashes, and it's all still very new. But it all feels very Guns of Icarus-esque, right? You have one person at the helm piloting the ship, and then you have three yahoos running around trying to do the best they can. Whether it be manning the side turrets, extinguishing fires, patching up holes in the hull, or just leaving the ship and flying around in Arcwing, and even taking over enemy ships and flying them around. I feel like overall the experience people are gonna have with this is gonna vary wildly based on the people they are playing with. If you just go into a public squad, it is most likely going to be a complete and utter nightmare. Especially now because it's still very new, it's the first day and people are just starting to get used to the way they're supposed to do stuff, so most public squads that I've been in were usually just like, oh my god, why is everything on fire? But you know, people are starting to get the hang of it and they're repairing the ship and they're flying around, they're manning the turret, so it's all starting to click. And honestly, once you kind of get used to it and you start doing what you're supposed to do and other people start doing what they're supposed to do, it's pretty fun. Now, as far as the missions are concerned, I once again haven't done too many of them, and they've been pretty similar so far. You generally have a bunch of fighters that you need to take down, and you also have one or two cruise ships that you can actually board and fly around, but ultimately you do want to take them down. But there are some other objectives as well, like over here where I went into an asteroid base and I had to expose radiators that the ship crew that was still on the outside would then take down. And that was really cool. That was a lot of fun. We almost actually failed it. This was a public squad and we nearly failed it, but at the very end we managed to pull through and we actually finished the mission and got a bunch of stuff from it. So all in all, I feel like this is going to be a lot of fun, especially if you do it with friends and your own voice chat and you can just faff around. But it first of all needs to be fixed, right? Because there are black screen issues, crashes, people clipping through floors and walls, people flying around in the ship, people getting stuck in consoles, and that's not good. And second of all, they really need to connect it properly to the rest of the game, because right now it is almost entirely its own thing. There is some overlap here and there, but for the most part, when you're doing Railjack, you're getting Railjack things. And I think I've been blabbering for long enough, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.